Okay, so we got what content, how it's broken down. We got how long it is at 60 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Now I've seen pitches online that I've just searched for, and some people say like I need designers, I need developers, I need people experienced in X, Y, and Z. Now, like, how should who should I attract to my team? How am I going to know who I need for my team?
Um. So I don't know. Most of them, the people are going to self-select your idea, right? Like, if I'm a developer, I'm going to pick the idea that sounds like something that one is up my alley of skill set, right? So something that I can bring value to the table, and two is going to be interesting to work on. I'm giving my weekend to building an idea. I don't want it to be something stupid. Um, so I mean, I've seen teams in the past, like sometimes companies will try and show up and be like, "No, we're a three-man startup, and all we need is one more Ruby developer, and we're set." Right? And
Yeah,
that doesn't work. We're going to ask you to leave. That's not what this is about. It's not about bringing your business there and getting free labor on it for the weekend. It's
right.
about coming up with a cool idea and trying to hack it together with a bunch of friends. So, um, for to try and identify what it is that you're looking for, get up there and if you know you need a developer, you know you need a designer. I mean, if you're a designer, maybe you've got the design down, right? And so you could say design needs not so much, but I really like we've got some mock-ups already working. Would love to have some developer talent, somebody that knows how to build X, right? That's going to be helpful.
Right.
So just put some thought into what the needs of your idea might be.
Yeah.
Because there's some that maybe it's more, maybe you need a hardware guy, right? If
Right.
your idea is a visual voicemail for doorbells, right? You don't necessarily like the developer's side might be a little bit light, but you need somebody that can hack together a doorbell and a webcam.
Right.
So, I mean, it can go a lot of different directions. Also, if you're doing strictly mobile, you need to throw that out there and say the idea is the mobile app that does X, Y, and Z.
So,
That's a lot different than your typical Ruby on Rails developer or PHP or whatever.
right. Okay. So just have an idea of maybe what you need, and that's something you should include in your 60-second pitch. Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yep. As much as you can. Like you're trying again. So I'm going to hear 40 ideas in 40 minutes, right? Like it's going to be fast and furious. A lot of ideas. You want to connect with a few people there, and so throw
Yeah.
something out that might actually, let them say, oh, that's something that I can help with. That's
Right.
something that would be interesting.
So some people are gonna already have an idea. Like if you just say the words, I want to make a mobile app," then mobile developers kind of get their ears open, and you don't maybe not necessarily have to even say you need mobile developers, but it's just
Right.
so other people kind of figure out what you might need and how
Yep.
they can fit in. Okay. So as a developer, you said I'm gonna maybe put my vote on 3 or 4 teams, right?
Yep.
That you're willing
Yep.
to
You got to
work
go and
with.
vote on the three teams that you'd be a part of. Just like the difficulty we have is filtering out the ideas that people don't want to build on, and getting down to a couple of really good ideas and being able to form teams around them. I mean, the majority of the exercise for Startup Weekend is in jumping in with a team, connecting as a team, and getting all that, like getting that dynamic solidified in a matter of hours, and then building something significant over the next 2 days.
Okay.
So the team plays a big part in it, and so we've got to facilitate that as quickly as we can.
So we start at 6. By what time do we figure out where our teams?
Okay, so we'll all get there and start hanging out at about 6 o'clock. We'll get registered and yada yada yada. Pitches start at 7:30. Then by I don't know, I'd say 9:30, everybody's a part of a team and doing their thing, and then from 9:30 until whenever, you're just kind of forming what you're gonna do and trying to outline each other's duties and figure out how you're all going to be able to participate in this idea.
Okay. So if I have an idea for whatever idea I might have, what should I try to be accomplishing on Thursday night?
You're just trying to get a team together. That's
Yeah.
like
So that's it.
that's it.
You need,
Yeah.
like,
Well,
some
and as soon as you
plan.
get your team together, you want to start going over kind of the idea, refine it a little bit, figure out what the questions are you need to answer, and then figure out how you're going to answer those questions, right?
Right.
Also, from the technical needs standpoint, you're going to be able to outline pretty quick what where your obstacles are going to be and where some of the opportunities are for you guys to really stand out. Which is going to make a difference because the next day, after you've gone through and solidified this, the next day you're going to have the opportunity to connect with mentors a couple of times, and so you'll want to you'll want to have some of those questions or obstacles that you've run into ready to go, so you can say, here's some of the stuff we're trying to work through. Maybe you can help us with this, right? We'll have we have a couple of well-known developers and mobile guys, and we've got some business, quite a few business guys that'll be stopping through, and to act as mentors. And the idea is, if you're running into an obstacle or you have something that you're kind of hanging up on, maybe you could throw it out to them, and they'd be able to give you feedback on ways that you could overcome that.
Okay. And how are we going to know who's the mentor? Is that going to be pretty plainly pointed out to us?
Yeah. Well, and that's part of what we'll try and do as facilitators is we'll try and get to know the ideas a little bit and figure out where mentors are going to be helpful. So it's not going to be like an ungodly amount of guys coming in asking what your business is, but if we can get one or two guys, it would be really helpful. Maybe you're building something that's going to be a local marketing thing, and we can grab maybe a local marketing guy that built and sold a company around that and would have great feedback around it. And I'd love to pull him in here and have him come, just chat with you for 30 minutes and say, here's maybe some holes in your idea. Here's some opportunities maybe you hadn't considered. Ways that you could pivot or adjust to take full advantage of the opportunity.
Okay. Brett Allred had a question. He asked if there were pitch slots, and how does he register to get into
Nope.
to be able to pitch?
You're gonna raise your hand and say, I've got an idea, and
Mm-hmm.
go up there and be part of it. There's no slots. If all 100 people have an idea, right, then we will listen to everyone's idea for 60 seconds before I kick you out as an enormous 6'7" bouncer.
All right.
And so
there's no visuals, right? Like, he's not going to be plugging
No.
in his PowerPoint. He's just going to be on a microphone talking
Yep.
about it, right?
So you get up there and say, here's what I was thinking. I hope somebody else thinks this is cool too and wants to build it.
Right.
It's kind of it's going to be a pretty good sized event. I'm actually really excited. The minimum is about 30, right? You don't want fewer than 30 people coming down to an event like this. The max, or like a good amount, is about 70, and your max is 100. And so we hit our max, right? We hit 100. I've closed it off to business guys. We're open for some designers and like developers. I'm still letting in just because I expect numbers to kind of filter out over the weekend.